Everyone sees the headlines about collapsing birth rates, aging populations, and shrinking workforces. But most explanations focus on culture or politics. The real mechanism is deeper, quieter, and far more consistent. Birth rates fall for the same structural reasons in every advanced society, and the pattern starts with one shift: the moment children stop being an economic asset and become an economic cost. In 1950, most Western countries were still transitioning from rural economies, where large families made sense. Today, nearly everyone lives in dense urban environments where raising a child is one of the most expensive decisions a family can make. Housing, childcare, education, and healthcare all scale upward in cities. As soon as that happens, fertility drops. The second force is education, specifically female education. Around the world, the more years women spend in school, the later they marry, the later they have children, and the fewer children they ultimately have. This isn't ideological, it's arithmetic. The later you start, the fewer years you have to grow a family. The third force is the structure of modern work. Western economies run on dual-income households. Two full-time jobs are now required to maintain stability, but two full-time jobs also mean less time, less flexibility, and fewer children. Across Europe, North America, and East Asia, the pattern is identical. Long work hours plus high living costs equal delayed families. Then comes the psychological layer. In wealthy societies, people spend more years in education, more years establishing careers, and more years defining their personal identity before considering marriage or parenthood. This shifts the meaning of adulthood. Life becomes more individual, more mobile, and more uncertain. And in uncertain environments, birth rates fall even further. Together, these forces create what demographers call the low-fertility trap. Once a society's birth rate falls below roughly 1.6, it becomes extremely difficult to climb back up. Each generation has fewer young adults than the last, which means fewer future parents and an even lower birth rate in the next cycle. Japan, South Korea, Italy, and now China are all locked into this downward spiral. None of these forces are emotional. None are cultural judgments. They are structural: economic pressure, educational timing, urban cost, modern work, and shifting expectations about adulthood. And once these pieces are in place, every Western society follows the same demographic curve. Demographics don't decide everything, but they do define the boundaries of what's possible. So the real question is this: how do nations built on growth adapt to a future where their populations are shrinking?